From ancient times, they have become our guardians, our rescuers and healers for the soul, and loyal friends. But do we really know them completely? Because dogs are much more than just pets. In this video, touching and sometimes astonishing facts about dogs that reveal their intelligence, emotions, biological traits, and their place in the human world. After this, you will definitely never look at a dog as just a pet again. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Key Maria, and like this video. Let's begin. There are approximately 400 dog breeds on the planet that have been officially recognized by international canine organizations. Each of these breeds has unique physical characteristics, temperament traits, activity levels, trainability, and historical origins. Among them are tiny companion breeds like the Chihuahua and large working breeds such as the German Shepherd or the Caucasian Shepherd. This division is not accidental. Over centuries of living alongside humans, dogs have specialized in different tasks: guarding, hunting, tracking, herding, rescuing people, or simply being a companion close to their owner. The diversity of breeds shows the unique ability of dogs to adapt to different conditions and human needs. Link in the description. Dogs dislike the smell of citrus. The scent of lemons, oranges, limes, or grapefruits almost always causes discomfort for dogs. Their sense of smell is so sensitive that the sharp essential oils of citrus seem overwhelmingly strong and unpleasant. Many owners notice their dog turning away, backing off, or sniffing the air with an expression of disgust when a piece of lemon is nearby. This feature is even used at home. For example, to discourage a dog from chewing furniture or objects, some people spray them with a natural citrus spray. However, it's important not to overdo it. Direct contact with concentrated aromas or essential oils can irritate a dog's nasal mucous membranes or cause headaches. Citrus for a dog is not a fresh scent, but an aggressive signal that makes them want to move away as far as possible. Dogs are known for their exceptional ability to sense what remains invisible to humans. Their highly sensitive senses allow them not only to pick up the slightest sounds or odors, but also to perceive the Earth's magnetic field. Studies have shown that dogs tend to align their bodies along the lines of the Earth's magnetic field when resting. This suggests they have a special biological ability that scientists still cannot fully explain. Many dog owners also claim their pets often anticipate earthquakes, storms, or even the arrival of strangers with hostile intentions before it becomes obvious to a person. This intuitive ability to detect danger is sometimes called a sixth sense, and although there is still no complete scientific explanation, practical observations support this extraordinary trait in dogs. In 2005, the world saw the first cloned pet dog, opening a new era in biotechnology and veterinary science. This breakthrough was made possible by South Korean scientists who brought to life a process previously used to clone the sheep Dolly. The first cloned dog, an Afghan hound named Snuppy, was created from a skin cell taken from an adult dog. Although the process was extremely difficult, only one animal out of hundreds of embryos was successfully born. It became an unprecedented step in science. Since then, companies have appeared offering pet cloning for large sums of money. However, this field remains controversial because of ethical, moral, and biological questions that are still actively debated in the scientific community. Still, the fact that a dog was cloned became a turning point in the history of how science interacts with animal life. Dogs, like humans, can suffer deep psychological trauma after extremely stressful events. Such animals may develop post-traumatic stress disorder, where behavior, emotional reactions, and even physical health change due to shock or prolonged negative experience. Most often, this happens to dogs that served in the military or police, survived natural disasters, experienced abuse, or were involved in accidents. Signs of the disorder may include excessive anxiety, aggression, fear of loud noises, apathy, or even physical symptoms such as digestive problems. These dogs are often treated through behavioral therapy, support from the owner, and in some cases, medication. Understanding that dogs are capable of deep emotional experiences only confirms how close they are to humans, not only physically, but psychologically as well. A dog's nose is not just a tool for smelling. It is a true biological passport. Each dog's nose surface has a unique pattern, similar to human fingerprints. This pattern remains unchanged throughout the animal's life. Because of this, some countries are already considering or even implementing systems to identify dogs by their nose print as an alternative or addition to microchips. There are even special devices and mobile apps that can scan a nose pattern for registration or for finding lost pets. This astonishing fact shows how perfect and unique nature is, even in the smallest details, and how modern technology is already able to interact with these biological features. Dogs are able not only to feel emotions, but also to react to unfairness. Scientists studied this phenomenon in experiments where two dogs were given tasks at the same time, but only one of them was rewarded. The dog that received no reward quickly lost interest in the task or showed signs of irritation, even though it had previously cooperated eagerly. This observation suggests that dogs have a basic understanding of social interaction, in which fairness plays an important role. Moreover, they can show frustration when they see another animal getting more than they do without making an effort. This feeling is especially noticeable in dogs that are closely bonded to humans or live in multi-dog households. In this way, the ability to perceive fairness makes dogs even closer to people, since it is one of the foundations of social behavior. Like humans, dogs can have a dominant paw. They can be right-pawed or left-pawed. This shows in their behavior, what paw they lift first when playing, which paw they use when digging, or which one they use to open a door or reach a toy. Scientists have found that about half of dogs have a clearly expressed leading side, and it can even affect how they perceive the world around them. Veterinary science takes this into account, especially in temperament tests or when selecting dogs for service work, where precision and stable reactions are required. So, even a small detail like a dominant paw opens a window into the complex and fascinating neurophysiology of the canine brain. Dogs are not just friends. They can become true rescuers for the soul. Therapy dogs are used in medicine and psychology to support people with emotional or cognitive difficulties. Their presence helps combat PTSD in combat veterans, reduces anxiety in people with panic disorders, and can improve social interaction in children with autism. These dogs go through special training so they can remain calm in any situation, respond to emotional outbursts, and create a sense of safety. They are often involved in hospitals, hospices, schools, or rehabilitation centers. People who interact with these dogs report lower stress levels, better sleep, improved mood, and overall well-being. These dogs are not just animals. They become quiet partners on the path to recovery. Dogs have an amazing ability to emotionally synchronize with their owner. They pick up tone of voice, body language, facial expressions, and even the smell of hormones that change depending on a person's emotional state. For example, when an owner is anxious or angry, a dog may also become uneasy, Avoid eye contact, crouch down, or move away. In moments of joy and calm, the dog will be active, playful, and relaxed. This emotional resonance has scientific grounding. Dogs can mirror human reactions on a hormonal level, especially when there is a close emotional bond. This is especially noticeable in service or therapy dogs, but even an ordinary pet can reflect its owner's mood so accurately that it becomes a real mirror of the owner's inner state. This ability strengthens the sense of reciprocity and trust between human and animal. A dog's sense of smell is a true wonder of nature. It is tens of thousands of times more sensitive than a human's, because a dog's nose contains over 300 million scent receptors compared to only about 5 million in humans. Thanks to this, dogs can detect incredibly subtle variations of smells that humans don't perceive consciously. A dog's sense of smell is a true wonder of nature. It is tens of thousands of times more sensitive than a human's, because a dog's nose contains over 300 million scent receptors compared to only about 5 million in humans. Thanks to this, dogs can detect incredibly subtle variations of smells that humans don't perceive consciously. They can also recognize a person by scent even years after the last meeting, creating a special emotional bond and the joyful reunion scenes we often see in videos. Many other dogs can also have single dark spots on the tongue, which is completely normal and not a sign of health problems. It's simply a cluster of pigment, like freckles in humans. This feature only highlights the genetic diversity and uniqueness of dogs. A dog's coat is a whole microbiological ecosystem inhabited by millions of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, yeast, and even mites. Normally, these microorganisms don't harm the dog. On the contrary, they help maintain skin balance, support immunity, and prevent harmful microbes from taking over. Each dog has its own unique microbiome shaped by breed, diet, living environment, and even interaction with humans. But if the balance is disrupted, due to allergies, improper care, or a weakened immune system, beneficial microorganisms can give way to pathogenic ones, causing itching, hair loss, or an unpleasant smell. That's why it's important to care for a dog's skin and coat with quality products, avoid excessive washing, and support overall health. The micro-world on a dog's body is an invisible protector working every day. Dogs' memory, especially emotional memory, can preserve traumatic experiences for a lifetime. If a dog experienced pain, abuse, an accident, or a loud, stressful moment, the brain may label that situation as danger. As a result, the dog may start avoiding similar conditions, being afraid of men in hats, certain smells, loud noises, or even a specific object. This associative memory works as a defense mechanism to prevent repeating pain. That's why adapting shelter dogs or animals that suffered mistreatment requires patience, care, and time. It's important to understand that for a dog, there is no such thing as a small trauma. What seems minor to a person can leave a lifelong mark in the animal's memory. At the same time, with kindness and gradual rehabilitation, even the deepest wounds can begin to heal, though caution and traces of the past may remain. The intelligence of some dog breeds is so high that they can remember hundreds of words, commands, and even symbols or gestures. The best-known examples are Border Collies, Poodles, and German Shepherds. A famous case is a Border Collie named Chaser, who could distinguish more than 1,000 names of toys and respond to complex language combinations, impressing even linguists. Such dogs don't just mechanically follow commands, they truly understand logic, can connect objects with actions, and distinguish shades of meaning. Their brains learn through repetition, association, and observation. This shows that canine intelligence is not a primitive instinct, but a complex system of thinking based on memory, recognition, and interaction. A dog doesn't just hear its name, it associates it with attention, action, or emotion. When you call a dog by name, it recognizes a familiar sound combination learned since puppyhood and expects interaction. Scientific studies show that a dog's brain activates in a special way when it hears its own familiar name, not just any voice or sound. In dogs with a close bond to their owner, the reaction is even stronger. They turn their head, become alert, or come closer. This proves that a name is not just a sound. It's a key to communication. It's important to use it in positive context so the name is linked with good experiences, not punishment or stress. A puppy can learn its name by the second or third month of life and will respond to it throughout life, even sometimes years after separation from its owner. Many dogs naturally have a strong guarding instinct, especially when it comes to the most vulnerable family members, newborn babies. Even if a dog has never lived with children before, its behavior often changes as soon as a baby appears in the home. The dog becomes more careful and attentive, often lies near the crib, reacts cautiously to strangers, and sometimes even seems to check a guest before allowing them to come close to the baby. This is not just loyalty. It's a deeply rooted social instinct that comes from pack life, where weaker members were protected. Some breeds, such as Labradors, Bernese Mountain Dogs, or Collies, have stronger protective tendencies, but even mixed-breed dogs often show this behavior. Such protection doesn't require training. It's an automatic response that reveals how strongly a dog can sense who needs its care the most. Sometimes a dog makes a guilty face to avoid punishment. Many dogs quickly learn that certain facial expressions, lowered eyes, pinned back ears, or a tense posture, trigger human sympathy and reduce the likelihood of punishment. They use these signals not as remorse, but as a way to avoid negative consequences. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing facts. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Your support helps us create more content like this. See you in the next video.